Hello friends, it is Denise from Loving Life at 60ish, and guess what? It's time to do the fourth in the series of organizing videos, and it is scratch offs. I'm going to actually bring you up a little bit. There. I don't know how to do these. And I mean, my theory was I was going to make enough scratch offs to fill this book. And actually it's getting there, but I think that it needs to come out of this book, and I want to consolidate as best I can. The problem is I might need to use a huge binder, a regular size binder, because some of these are too big. But I did get an A5. And I wanted to see, did I tell you this is Denise from Loving Life at 60ish? I just wanted to jump right in and get organized. But see, a lot of these are not going to fit in here. This is from Janelle Ray Budgets. These Disney ones and this Backstreet Boys one. Aren't those amazing? So what I thought was, what if there are some, like, those aren't going to fit, so they'd have to go in a big binder. I wonder if there's any of hers. And this rhino that Barbie's Budgeting sent me as a gift, as Happy Mail, is not going to fit either. But mine will fit. I don't know that any of Janelle's is going to fit in here. Oh, man. Nope. I was really hoping to use this A5 binder, but I don't see it happening. All right. Well, it's okay. Does he fit? He doesn't even fit. All right. So the ones, and that's not going to fit. And those aren't going to fit. These are all Janelle's. Aren't they gorgeous? I know I've shown them before. I had a question for you guys too. So when I make my products that ship out, I oftentimes make boo-boos. And so this one was going out to a customer, and you see I had the roll of scratch offs had tape on it, and the tape landed on here and tore that off, and so I couldn't send it out. I made a new one. And what I'm wondering is, would anyone ever be offended if this was a freebie in your package if you ordered things? Or would you be offended because it's got a issue with it? Or is it a good idea to put a listing up of 4 or 5 items that are not quite right but are still very usable, and sell them that way? I just am not sure. I mean, it's certainly a waste to not use this. And I actually have one, I think. Yeah, I have one here. I should have swapped them out. I didn't even think about that, because I haven't used this. You know what? I am going to swap this one out, but that's not always the case. I can't always swap them out if I've used it already. Like if I made a mistake on the Mary Poppins one, I couldn't swap it out because this one has big mistakes. The scratch offs are overlapping. But now that's brand new, and I have an order for one that needs to go out this week, so I'm just going to put that aside. That answers that question for today. But in the future, would you care if you got a freebie that had a little bit of a mess up on it, or no? All right. Then the other thing is, so I've got this A5 binder, and I've got this binder. Do I use both of them? Or do I fit them all in here? And this is so cute though, right? I mean, why not have 40 gazillion binders? I just want to see if this matches enough holes. Yeah, it could go in there to put the smaller ones in. Okay, guys, I probably have answered my question. This may have to be saved for another time. All right, but let's get organized. So you say, but what are you going to put them in? Well, I have these. I've had them kicking around, and I usually during school shopping time, I usually pick up a couple of packages of these, and sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. I've had this package since last year at this time, so evidently I didn't need them. It's interesting though, I had 2 packages and I've used one of them in the last month. And when my dad had esophageal cancer and he passed away from it 9 months after he was diagnosed, my stepmom created a binder of all the medical paperwork and everything that they got. And so I have done the same thing, although I gotta tell you, it's not easy to keep up with the paperwork. So I used some of these to put some things in that I couldn't punch holes in for one reason or another. But what I have found is I don't need to take that binder every time I go in somewhere. So it goes in my hospital medical appointment bag, but I usually take it out and leave it in the car. Well, I shouldn't say usually. I've done it once, but I think I'll start leaving it home because they've got all the information. It's more of a binder for me to look back and say, although there have been a couple of times that they didn't have the information. So, okay. Now, the other thing is I want to do these in an order of working on them. So, first, I'm going to take, like, I'm working on Frozen because I chose holiday ones or, you know, Christmassy ones to work on first in this book. So let's see if it goes that way and it's zipped down. That would zip up, or it would zip down. What am I talking about? It would zip down. Okay, so we're gonna do this. I want to put the ones that I'm definitely doing right now in front, and then the ones that I can feed in the back. And just see how it works. This may not work, you guys. Isn't this binder cute? I found it at Target recently. Okay, so this is the first one because, and is that how I want it to go? Yep. Because I am working on this one. Okay. And what else is in here that I'm working on? I'm working on Cindy Lou Who. Now, I do have scratch-offs in my Christmas savings book. And, actually, I guess that's it. I won't be taking those out of the Christmas savings book. The one that I created and is bound. I'll just do that when I do Christmas savings. But this will be fun because people have sent me scratch-offs as gifts, and it's so fun to do other people's. Okay, those are not done. All right, so these ones I'm just going to put in binder envelopes in the back. Although I am trying to do holiday ones, so I think I might put this one up front too. It's very quiet here today, which is not a bad thing. I can't even tell you what day it is because I've been filming some ahead just to be sure that I have a chance to post some. It's also muggy. It wasn't, but I think we're going to have thunder showers, so it's gotten a little muggy. Now, Nightmare Before Christmas, I feel like might go up front too because I am working on... no, I'm not going to put it up front right now. Say I'm working on holiday ones, but I'm not going to put it up front right now. Then I have some that people have very sweetly sent me. So I have one from Mischief Managed Budgets, and then these are from Barbie's Budgeting. I hope I said that right. And then this is from Cindy Cat. Scratch and Save. And they are all going to go in one envelope, and the money from them will all go in one envelope too. For what? I don't know. I haven't really figured out. Okay. So we're going to put Cindy Cat Budgeting in here. And so, I can just I have no idea how much these are going to be. This one is from Janelle Ray Budgets. I have no idea what's underneath that. So it'll just be fun. Same with these. I don't know how much it's going to be. But they'll be fun, and it will just add a little bit of money into here. Hopefully they're not like $50 ones or something, because if they are, I'm in trouble. So these I'll just use whenever, like when I have a little bit extra, I'll try them. Now, this is a lovely game that I am really enjoying by Mischief Managed Budgets. It's a Harry Potter one. And it was not working in that little envelope. And I thought, well, it really needs to go in. So far, nobody's winning. Oh yeah, there is. Ravenclaw is winning right now. So these are going to go in one of these. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about lots of things. Okay. And then they won't fall out anymore. And we'll put the money in. So I don't have a particular night that I do these. Like I don't do scratch offs on one night a month or anything like that. So I'm just gonna do it like I have been doing when I've got, when I'm working on some budgeting. I may just pull a couple. This was given to me by, I was going to write it on here and I forgot to. I showed it to you guys last week. I'm looking to see if her envelope is right here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will think of it and post it. Is this it? Nope, that's Denise. That's an order. Well, I am really sorry. When I write it down, there it is. Dina Banks. And her Etsy shop is Budgeting by Dina US. And I'm going to write that on here with a marker. Budgeting by Dina U.S. She just sent me this as happy mail, and I shared it the other day. I'm going to put that, I've got to hang up my cards. So, this, it's two-sided, which is really sweet. I have no idea how much the values are or how high these are either. So, but I am going to put it there, and we'll see what happens. Now, for ones in here, I am doing this one. The Rhinoceros by Barbie's Budgeting. And she just sent this to me as happy mail. It was so sweet. And I'm going to, I feel like I don't want the money hanging in there like that. So I don't know if this will work or not. I think it will. All right, and then I'm going to choose one of Janelle's to do, to start out with. And oh, hey, do you guys remember the other day I talked about, I got to plug my camera in. It just told me I had a low battery. Sorry guys for my hand. The other day I was talking about the pain scale, 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your pain? And then I was telling you that I had a new scale that I was doing on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your mood? 1 being Tinkerbell, a little sassy, but a little cute. 10 being Ursula. So yesterday I had, oh, what did I have? I can't remember, but I had a treat. And so I wrote my friend who had helped me come up with a scale, and I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm below a 1. I am Snow White, singing to the birds. And that's how I was feeling yesterday. I know, my husband and I had gone for a ride, and it was just nice. We'd gone for a ride. There was no particular place we were going. But we weren't going to an appointment or anything. So anyway, my mood was Snow White. So let's do Snow White, since that's what my mood was that day. And I explained to her, you know, how Snow White sings while she works and sings to the little birds, and the birds sing to her. Well, that's how I felt yesterday. Okay, then the rest of these, that's Little Mermaid. I should do an Eeyore, because sometimes I feel like Eeyore too, right? That's Snow White and Snow White. Winnie the Pooh, whoops, Snow White. Winnie the Pooh. Little Mermaid. And them. So these could go in separate ones. I'm going to put them in a separate. Actually, I'm going to put, let's see, what do we have? We have 1, 2. Oh, I wanted to put that one in, didn't I? Excuse me. 3. And this is the next one is a random draw, and I might do it and I might not do it depending on how money is. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's plenty. I been stretching myself way too thin lately. And like I said, it's not like I have a lot of money to save, especially right now. So I have to remember that, or I'll spread myself too thin and not feel successful. But we've got the rhinoceros and Snow White. So there's 8 of them. The rest of these ones are going to all go together in the binder for when I want to use them. And, you know, eventually it would be lovely to have a scratch-off night. But I just don't see that happening anytime soon because there isn't an extra amount of money to do that with. I do want to tell you guys something. So, speaking of extra money, a couple of weekends ago, last Sunday actually, 2 Sundays ago. So on Sundays, we are combining our family time with work time. And the kids are coming over, and my sister and my mom were here, and sometimes one of Scott's brothers or something. They come, and we have an ongoing list. It's not written to get all done that day. It's an ongoing list of things that really need to be done around here. And my daughter helped me go through my clothes because I'd never packed up my winter clothes and got out my summer clothes. And so she said, well, let's just put your summer clothes away. And I was like, no way. Summer doesn't end here until the end of September. I'm not getting rid of my clothes, putting them away. But we went through them, and we packed away the winter ones that didn't get packed away. I went through a bunch of summer ones. I have a whole pile of them to get rid of. Most of them are like almost new or not worn much. And so I do have a Poshmark account that I may put them in. So these were the leftover of mine that I've created, and they're just going in the back also for when I need to pick out some new ones. So anyway, she helped me go through them, and she said, Mom, you have like 5 or 6 things still with the tags on them. You know, yeah. What can I say? I'm not going to justify it. I am a shopper, and these were things that had been bought back at the beginning of the year for summer, and also for my Disney trip. They still had the tags on them because I did not wear them. And so she said, what do you want me to do with them? And I said, well, let me go through them and see if it's anything that I want to keep. And I went through them, and I didn't. So there were 6 items, and 4 of them went to TJ Maxx, and 1 of them went to Target. And I obviously couldn't put my hands on the receipts for any of them, but they all still had their tags on them. So I took them today to see if, you know, it was too late to return them. I thought they might say, yeah, no, we can't do it without a receipt or whatever. But TJ Maxx said, as long as you have a picture ID, we can certainly do it. So I gave her my license, and it was $87 back. And then the other ones went to Target, and one of them was questionable. They couldn't get it to return, and the guy said, well, it's probably past our return policy. And I said, well, I said, it might be. I said, however, if it is, then the rest of them are too, because they were all purchased on the same day, which was exactly what had happened. And you would think I could put my hands on that receipt, but I couldn't. So anyway, he looked again and he was like, you're right. It shows up on the receipt, all three of these. So he went ahead and returned it for me. And that was another $80, you guys. So it was over $170 with tax that I received back. Now, in Target, they had to give me a card with half of it on it because of the items that were being returned. Couldn't be returned onto the original card because it was a collaboration with another company or something like that. So, you know, whatever it was, they gave me a card. I needed stuff at Target. I used the card. And, but I received, I mean, that was like extra money that I wasn't expecting. Right? So what we've been finding is people will call and say, hey, I'm coming over. Is there anything you need? And inevitably, there's always something they need. Because I haven't been leaving the house and leaving him by himself. And so then they get here and they purchased it and we don't have the cash, but we can give them a check and they don't want, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to have a little bit of cash available and to pay if someone picked up some milk for us or something. So that, and I had said this morning, I really need to get just a little bit of cash to have on hand. And lo and behold, I have a little bit of cash now to put on hand, to have on hand. Okay guys, so that's the story of the day. I'm always full of stories. This is how it's going to go. I want to play the Hogwarts game as often as possible. It might be better in my game folder, but we'll see. And then I want to finish these two. That one will be next when those are finished. This will be random. If I have a little bit of extra money, I'll try scratching one and see what's underneath it. If it's too high of an amount, then I'll just divide it in half or something. And this one will be played later. I do like to play the ones that you guys share with me or send to me in my Happy Mail as often as I can. So once I finish these three, this one will move up. And then the rhino is the same way. This was a gift from somebody. And, oh yeah, and I've already scratched it once. And then these are, like I'd like to start Snow White, but these are, yeah. The other thing I was thinking about, and I know somebody does this, but they do the scratch offs and they total it up and then they put the money in the following week. They pull the money from their account and put the money in. And I may do that too, you guys. Keep a running total, like do one round of this, one of these, one of these. You know, one of the rhinoceros or one of Snow White, and total that up and then pull it at the end of the month to put in there. We'll see. But there is my lovely binder and all of my beautiful scratch offs, all the ones that I have made that I will continue to add to as I make more. There you go, guys. I will talk to you soon. Don't forget, if you get a chance, to sprinkle a little joy in someone's life. A friend of mine brought us some chocolate chip cookies yesterday. Not a ton of them, you know, there were probably a dozen in the bag, I would think. My grandson had a couple, my husband had a couple, I had a couple, and my husband told her that this was all he was going to eat from now on, those and the blueberry muffins that the other friend of ours has been making for him. So, yeah, it's helping him keep weight on. You know, he's 97 pounds, so he's not gaining weight, but it's giving him some extra calories. And, you know, we do know we have to be careful of sugar, that cancer likes sugar. But basically the doctors have said, eat what you want. Let's get some weight on you. So anyway, sprinkle a little joy in someone's life. Smile at them. Today, my day started out kind of crabby, and so I made it a point. And, you know, that whole saying, fake it till you make it, I think that's an AA saying. I can't remember. So I had to go to the post office. And when I was leaving, this elderly woman was coming in. Well, first this man was coming in, and he had an Army Navy t-shirt on, an older man. And I opened the door for him. I had already gone out the door. I went back and opened it, smiled and said hi and have a good day. And he went in, and then I started to walk away again, and this elderly woman with a cane was walking towards the door, and I said, you take your time, but I'm going to go back and open the door for you when you're ready. And she came back, and she was so thankful. And then this woman coming out thought I was trying to go in, so she was holding the door for me. I was holding the door for her, so we laughed. So that was the beginning of feeling better. And so at everything that I did, as I did my errands, I just smiled or held a door or said something, you know, what about this weather we're having? I don't know, things like that, right? And so it made me feel better. And so sprinkling a little joy in someone's life is a great idea. And I hope you have happy saving, and I will see you real soon. Bye.